Alright everyone, how's it going, and welcome back to this new series which I've recently started, where I try and teach you little things that I do in a game that help me win. The idea is that everything I do is in one game, so I'll try and teach you some of the things that I do to help me win, and some little bits and tricks that will hopefully be applicable in any game that you play online. I start this off with a 3-5-2 formation. Now that is quite an open formation, it's not very defensive, but the reason I use it is because you can get a lot of possession with this, because obviously you've got 5 midfielders and 2 attackers, which means you've got a lot of options on, and it's a great formation if you can get used to the fact that you will be a little bit exposed at times in the back, but overall I'd definitely recommend it if you want to have a try with keeping possession in a game. So getting straight into the game, I actually score really early on. Now if you look at this from this position, there's only 2 possible ways that you will score. Either aiming far post, as I explained last video, or chipping the keeper. Now obviously only chipping the keeper will work if he brings his keeper out. So as you can see, he does bring his keeper out, so he basically makes his mind up. He makes my mind up for me. So as soon as I see Peter Cech run out, I hold L1 and chip the keeper, and that's 1-0. And chips back again in FIFA 14 are really effective. The next clip you'll see is a long dribble that I did with Thomas Muller. Now I actually start on the halfway line, but I nearly end up scoring. Unfortunately I'd missed the chance. But the very first move I do is simply just moving the analog stick to the right. Now it looks like I do some sort of step over there, but I don't. I literally just move it to the right. The next up I do a few, as I explained a lot in the last video, stop and starts. I use a different variety of skills. I stop, then I do a fake shot, and then a step over, and different things. And then I just run into the space. I keep running into space, and as soon as the player gets close, I'll do a little skill move, something like a fake shot or a step over, and then at the end, unfortunately I don't score. But it is a really good creative chance, basically from just basic skill moves. Next up, in the 17th minute, the ball comes to my keeper. Now, when a lot of people get the ball with the keeper, they literally just boot it up, they don't even think about it. But as you can see here, I literally just move a few yards forward. No skills, I don't try anything stupid. Then after that, I just pass. But from something so simple, I actually take out 3 players in the game. So I run past 3 players by literally just moving forward and then passing. Next up, you'll see the second goal. Now, the first thing I notice is his centre-back is out of position, and that's because he's pressing high. The thing about people who press high is they usually have players out of position. So what I do is I simply let him follow me, and when he follows me, that means his players are even further out of position. That also opens up a big gap. Now, as soon as I see that gap, I cut inside, and then press L1, because L1 makes a player make a run. So as you can see, Marquezine makes a run, then simply I slot the pass at the right time. Then once you get in this position, like I said, you either chip or you hit the far post, but because the keeper's quite close to his goal, I decided to go for far post, and that makes it 2-0. Now the next chance all starts with 1 tackle. Now as you can see, he's got Hazard on the ball, who's a skillful player, so all I do is I hold L2 to jockey, and then wait for him to run into me. I keep my distance, then tackle him, and then as you can see, a little nice stop start, which is such a good skill, I can't stress that enough. And a few nice skills with L2, a lot of simple ones like I said, but they're just so effective. And what you see here is I then cut inside. Now because there's so much played out on the right hand side, that means there's so much space that's opened up on the left. Because I'm playing the 3-5-2, there's so many options available, and that means there's always someone either on the left or right and centre. In the next clip I pick up the ball with Balotelli. Now because El Shaarawy is making the run and I'm facing that way, he thinks I'm going to make a pass, I'm going to make a free ball. But because of that, he brings all his players to that side. That means with a simple stop I can completely change the dynamic of the play. So I make that pass to De Bruyne, and then that obviously opens up even more space on the right because Ashley Cole's now had to come over to make the challenge. And so I skip that challenge and then make the pass, and once again I should do better, I should score. But it's another chance created from simply just changing the position of the play, exploiting the space. Now as I've been saying, one of the keys to keeping possession is simply just exploiting the space as much as possible, and this is what I do with El Shaarawy. Now most people here, they'd probably just booted upfield to look for the pass, but because this guy keeps backing off, he keeps marking the runners, I just keep simply moving forward, and by the time I pass it, I'm already past the halfway line, so I've managed to progress about 50 yards of the pitch by just moving forward. And you'll find that if you make use of space, just run into it as much as possible, you'll keep the ball a lot easier. Next up now is my third goal, and it's a pretty standard goal, but what you notice here is the cross. Now that was more like a drilled cross, and that's because I double tapped the cross button, which is usually square on PS3 or 4 and X on the Xbox. What the drilled cross does is that it puts the ball in front of the player, and that's perfect when the player's running into the box, because usually he'll meet the cross perfectly and volley it or dive in header. Coming up now is a defensive clip. Now the key to defending is not to dive in. If you dive in, you'll just get picked off very easily by good players. So what I do here is I jockey it. I try and mark the runner. It's important to mark the runner. Then when he makes that pass, I don't panic, I don't change player, I just keep with El Shaarawy, and in the end I make the tackle. Now as you might have noticed, I'm dominating this game pretty well, and the next goal comes from, once again, I'm moving in one direction and I just stop the ball completely with a stop, then turn around and make a pass in the other direction, and once again that just changes the whole dynamic of the play. That means now that I've got a lot of players making runs on the left hand side of the pitch, and in the end El Shaarawy's got a lot of space moving forward, and I try to do a few skills, stop and starts, and in the end I admit I do get lucky with the penalty. That probably wasn't a penalty. But the point is I made another chance from simply just stopping in the middle of the pitch, turning around and changing the direction of the play. And in the end I do score the penalty, top middle, And the top middle is usually the best place to score penalties. I've explained that in another video in more detail, so I'll link that on the screen if you want to see more about that. But that puts the game to bed really. 4-0, I've dominated this guy, he hasn't really had many chances at all. But I haven't really done anything special, like I said. I've just kept the ball, been patient, and done some simple but basic dribbling moves. So after those 4 goals, the game sort of fizzles out, but I do create a few more chances with a few nice bits of skill. As you can see there, I do a fake shot in another direction, take a shot. And as I've explained before, the fake shot is a brilliant piece of skill. I can't recommend it enough. And even here again, I'll show you another combo of fake shots. I do 3 in a row with Marquisio. I really should score this chance. It's a really good piece of play. He's all over the place at this moment in time, but even so, it's a good chance, and I should have scored. And another piece of skill I also use is the dummy. And the dummy is very simple. A lot of you might already know it, but you simply just hold R1 or RB, and it lets the ball go through your legs. And a lot of the time, if a player's pressing you high, the dummy is great because he could completely just runs past you, and then you can run into space. So that's full time in this game, a pretty comfortable win in the end. And as you can tell, what I've got here is the passes completed. Now, what you'll notice is my 2 centre defensive midfielders, Marquisio and Khedira, have got the most passes. And if you do plan to play a possession game, you'll notice that your CDMs are very important, and they will make the most passes. They'll probably break up a lot of the play and also start a lot of the play up. So usually check at the stats at the end. If you think that you don't know what's going wrong, have a look at who's got the most passes. If you find out like your strikers have got too many passes compared to your midfielders, then you're probably playing a bit too quick, and maybe that's why you can't create possession or chances as much, because you're trying to get up to the strikers too quick. And at the same time, if your defenders have got more passes than anyone else, then you're probably building up the play too slowly. And at the same time, if your wingers have got too many passes, then it's probably due to the fact that you're trying to cross it too much. But generally speaking, your CDMs, your midfielders, your central midfielders will have the most passes out of anyone else if you're playing possession game. And the match facts speak for themselves really. 65% possession, which is a lot on FIFA. 16 shots. I should really score more. I should be scoring 6 or 7 with those sort of stats. He only had 3 shots. Not many chances or possession. Let me know also what areas you want me to show you more about. Obviously, I tried to do a bit more in defence this episode, but the simple fact is, if he doesn't have many chances or possession in my area, then I really can't do much on defence because there isn't much to show on it. But I will try and do a bit more varied tips next time. But as always, thanks a lot for watching. If you do like this series, then please leave a like, and I'll see you all next time.